Hey everyone, it's Nick. This is a quick little video to show what the doctors here at the practice that are involved with MasterTrack came up with respect to the credit allocation for MasterTrack. Just to be on the same page, the Miro board has a link to this document. So it's right here under the executive board items. Here's the Miro board. Everybody should have a copy of this by now. If you don't, let me know. Click right here. It's the working document, session topic, and credit allocation worksheet right here. So the first thing we have is a copy or screenshot of the participation requirements for mastership in the AGD. So it's really this column right here that we're looking to satisfy. What's important to note, we have a total of 400 hours spread across the 5 years for MasterTrack, but in these columns there's only 372 credit hours, which means there's 28 hours that we can use however we want above and beyond these participation requirements. So I think we need to agree on how we want to utilize those 28 hours. I think the general consensus was ortho maybe, but I think it's a topic that we should discuss in further detail. And then here we have the electives. These are the topics that satisfy the elective requirement for 30 hours. Essentially, we can put anything in elective because of this little handy dandy escape valve, which is multidisciplinary topics. So we had Tubo's worksheet, excuse me. This worked well for the time that he was in the track, but there were some modifications and I think some updates to things, and I think this one was a little antiquated, although it can work and we can stick with it. But there were a couple areas that needed some tightening up. Specifically, if we're going to do ortho, which we all agreed should be a stronger part of the continuum above and beyond what Baker has to offer with ortho, where do we put it? So myself, Jason Greenbaum, Luke Libby, and Zach Regan all sat down and came up with this. So this is essentially what we can do to try to have an entire weekend dedicated to ortho. I'm a firm believer that ortho should be an entire weekend. As somebody who does a lot of Invisalign, I can't imagine treatment planning without a strong foundation, at least in orthodontics, not necessarily how to place brackets and wires, but just the movements, the diagnoses, orthognathic surgery considerations, all of that I think is very important for what we're trying to do with MasterTrack. So I'm a proponent of this idea, and if we wanted to do this, the best way for us to come up with it was the following. So what we did is we broke the hours down into this following allocation. A couple high points. What we did is we took fixed and we spread it out. Rather than have fixed be its own entire weekend, we can satisfy the 30 hours of CE for fixed here in removable. She talks about fixed because combination cases involve removable and fixed. Operative, fixed, and then aesthetics, fixed. Then we had an extra 2 hours under implants because we needed, it's just the way the math worked out. So fixed is spread out amongst all of those. So that was big change number one. Big change number two was adding ortho for an entire weekend. Big change number three, we took implants and spread them out. So we have 2 implants here, we have 8 here, and then we have 20 here. And that comes up to the 30 needed. So implants is spread out just like fixed. Then we have the Baker conversation. So I'm a huge fan of Dr. Baker. I can't imagine not knowing what she shared about craniofacial development in kids. But I didn't really feel like the orthodontic part of the conversation was as strong as it would be if we talked about adult orthodontics. So if we're going to get adult ortho here, and maybe I put that in like so, adult. Well, anyways, this will be focused on adults. This will be more focused on adolescents, but more about the need, how to prevent the patient from needing ortho in the first place, I think would be the focus, craniofacial development. She can do special patients. We need 12 hours. Basic sciences, we get 2 there. Anesthesia, pain, and sedation. I'm not sure how we iron that out or justify it, but I'm sure we can figure out a way. At the end of the day, I don't think it's a big deal. We can easily put that somewhere else. But then we have airway, adult airway, be the second half of Saturday or half of a day. So we have Baker for a day and a half and then half the day. Just an idea, but it's a way for us to bring some airway into this conversation. I'm a huge proponent of airway also, but it's not about me. It's about what the group wants. I just can't imagine practicing dentistry without airway being part of it. So I think we need to squeeze it in somewhere. And because I think we pulled ortho out of Baker, why not put airway there? Plus, it would dovetail nicely into her craniofacial development, which is the following. If the kid or the child or the adolescent doesn't grow well, they have a compromised airway. Oh, what do we do about that in adulthood? So that's kind of how that conversation would be had. And I'm happy to do that lecture. It's the thing I find myself lecturing on the most, so I'm happy to help there. But I wanted everybody's thoughts here. The other helpful tool, I put all of the different requirements here in order of credit hours required, separating from 30 to 12. I don't know, my brain works a little bit better than looking at this sheet here where they're all over the place. So if anybody else wants to come up with a version that meets the needs of the group based on our conversation at our last Zoom meeting, I'd love for you to share it. This is what our group came up with. I personally think this satisfies everything that is needed. So love to hear what everybody thinks.